This is an era of the seductress that includes the depth. It includes her deepest longings. It includes the shadow. So here's why this matters now. Everyone I talk to, and I mean everyone, has spent the last 10, 11 months struggling to connect with this part of ourselves. We've been in survival mode in whatever capacity that's looked like for us. And even if we've had moments of feeling like ourselves again or catching glimpses of someone new, so many of us birthed something in this time. And that's so important and so magical. We've started businesses, we've written book proposals, we've had babies, we've started relationships, we've ended relationships, and that has felt like its own new beginning. But there's this shrouded, covered feeling on so many of us, like the piece of us that got left behind or buried in the couch or covered underneath all the blankets, is that seductress side. Because where is there to go? Who is there to see? What part of me can really come out this way? And we started off with a descent into just being comfortable. And I love that. I have a blanket right here. We want to be cozy. We want to be safe. We want to be so comforted. And I know the slippery slope because I've been on it too, of feeling like, oh, I don't know how to get back out of this. Almost like I'm piled under all these blankets and like, I don't know how to get out again. And it can be hard to call her back in. Here's why. You're not actually looking for the same version of who you were before. You're not just going to look at pictures where you felt beautiful once a few years ago and say, oh, do I put that shirt back on? Do my hair that way again? Before I had kids, before this pandemic, before I did this or that, before I became more me, do I go back there? But that's not the answer. What we're doing now is carving out an entirely new way of being our seductress self. You have graduated from where you were before and everything that made you feel beautiful and sexy and alive. You're ready for the next level. And in this phase, and maybe this is your first time exploring this side of you, but in this phase, you're integrating everything that you've experienced. The grief, the trauma, the sadness, the overwhelm of this year, even the exhaustion, the overgiving, the feelings of maybe I want to give up, maybe I can't do this. We have been taught that there is this feeling like, there are these parts of us that bring us down. And then maybe there's this like flirty seductress side. She has to like push all of that away or like drown it out with alcohol or compartmentalize so fully so that she can be her like fun, light, bubbly self. Of course, we're not willing to do that right now. We're trying to explain to our children that over 400,000 people have died. Or we're trying to stand up for justice, or we're trying to change the world, or we're trying to be there for our clients or our friends and their hearts are breaking, or we're trying to fall in love and we're busy. It doesn't feel like it's the right time to just like push all of those serious, deep, hard places down so that we can just put on some lipstick and dance around our living room. But what if it weren't the case? That in order to be that seductress, that free, that tapped into her sexuality, you had to kind of get rid of those parts of you or silence them. What if they got to come too? The parts that have felt so impossible and hard, the parts that broke us, where our bodies were hurting. And because we can go into that depth, we can hold so much more beauty. This is a seductress energy that is also so wise. So if you've done any work on archetypes, you may be starting to see that in my work, we break the rules a little bit. And instead of it being like one day I'm the vixen and another day I'm the great mother or the queen or the wise woman, we bring it all together because this is a moment that needs the uncovered woman who is all of it. In her seduction, she is wise. In her wisdom, she hasn't stopped being a magnet, stopped being in her body, stopped being so sexy. It's more that this amplifies this, amplifies this, amplifies this. She can be grieving, she can be orgasming, she can be everything. And we, as you hear it, as I say it, we know that this is the only actual option.